From the sound of things, it's good that Joe Braman's nearest neighbor is miles away. You got enough dogs here, Joe?
You know I do. This is only a few, but we have altogether about 150.
You don't name them?
I don't.
Why is that?
Because of the nature of my job. And if I name one, I might get attached to them, and when you're chasing a criminal, if they'll shoot a human, they'll certainly shoot a dog.
As a deputy sheriff and commissioned Texas peace officer, Joe reminds us these dogs may not have names, but they do have jobs.
And that's what I tell everyone. These dogs aren't a pet. They're a tool.
What is it y'all do now?
We chase fugitives, missing people.
Their job is simply to find them.
That's it. They just stop, hold them, and bark. And we go up in there and place them under arrest.
We have to do this on a daily basis.
With his partner Zeke Ortiz and Josh the decoy, Joe goes through the motions of a felony takedown, all in the name of training dogs for manhunts, something they've done all over Texas for decades.
They ran him down, took him down the road, right next to the road.
Between the two of you, I guess you guys have collectively been involved in some of the biggest manhunts Texas has ever seen.
Yes, sir.
Just another day at the office?
Some manhunts that lasted up to a week. Some last just a few minutes.
Let me tell you, you may go a week and not get a call, then you may go 7 days and get 3 calls a day. Every one of them are different, and every one of them is brutal.
On horseback, following the sound of distant hounds, Joe and Zeke have been on some of the biggest manhunts in Texas history. In working adult dogs, the decoy has to put on a protective suit, then climb a tree.
Normally early in the morning, we'll send our decoy down there and he'll lay a track for several miles.
Well, this may be a training session, but these ambitious canines mean business. When they're up in the tree there, it looks like they're doing some pretty brutal stuff back to the dog.
We're not playing with an innocent child or an innocent person. We're dealing with a convicted felon. And we're going in there to take this person into custody. And if you don't train the dogs what it is to understand a little bit of resistance, that dog's gonna run off. We prepare them for that aggressive nature of people that are high on drugs or fleeing arrest and detention.
You're giving them a dose of reality.
Absolutely.
Exactly. We're trying to create that scenario as realistic as possible.
Hey, get off him, get off him.
Those dogs that you were working this morning, any of those going to Africa?
There's two out of that group going to Africa.
It all started a few years ago with a desperate phone call from law enforcement officials in Africa. Rhino poaching, it seems, was threatening the existence of the species.
The rhino poachers in Africa are killing a rhino every 8 hours. And they're killing them just for the horn.
One trip to Africa was all he needed, and Joe set to work on a 10,000-mile journey to help save the rhino. Who are these people who are just going up there and hatcheting off a rhino's horn?
It's going to go back to like the cartel, what we deal here with narcotics and stuff like that. That's the mafia or cartel or whatever it's called. I don't know what they call it in Africa.
It's cartel affiliated. I mean, it is. It's a group that are commissioned to go out and harvest these horns.
So this isn't some poor villager trying to feed his kids acting
it is
alone.
Organized criminal activity. Period. Bottom line.
Killing rhinos.
Killing rhinos, or even not killing them and paralyzing them and harvesting the horn. I mean, they've created a market larger than cocaine. My first 15 deployments, I caught 27 people.
You caught?
My dogs that I trained.
Caught 27?
27 poachers. Some that hadn't even gotten to kill yet. That's what the best was. We recovered the gun, the axe, backpacks, and so forth and so on, and they were sitting on a rhino ready to kill him when it got a little later and the dogs hit them instead. And we got to save the rhino. So yeah, it's neat.
How's that feel?
Very good.
What's happened since you're back here?
I think they're over 100.
Yeah, we still
captured
get
now.
calls every other day or so. That,
They're still catching them
They're still
and
catching
your dogs.
Yes, sir.
So you don't have to be there. Your dogs are
The
there.
dogs are there.
Dogs are there.
This is the logo that they use on the doors on the vehicles that are deploying our dogs in Africa right now. There's an African flag, the Texas flag.
With Release the Hounds.
Release the hounds. When the rhino poachers see the Texas flag, I want them to cringe and hurt because that's what they're doing to that species. That's all he and I do is train dogs around the clock. And to see them go 10,351 miles and land and save a species from extinction, it's like no other feeling in the world.
Back here in a remote corner of the ranch, the training continues for another pack of hounds that will soon be headed to Africa. One thing is for sure, Joe Braman and Zeke Ortiz never dreamed their manhunts would take them so far away. So 20 years from now, some kid can go to Africa and see a live rhino in the wild because of a couple of Texas cowboys.
You hope so. I hope we made that much difference.
You know, this is what we know, this is what we've done all our life, and it's a good feeling inside knowing that we made a difference. And we're going to continue to make a difference.